Truck should be right down here. There she is. Dad just picked up this 1976 Chevy long bed half-ton that's been off the road for quite a few years. It was parked because it had a bad water pump, but we pretty much bought it sight unseen, so we don't know the condition of the engine or the transmission or anything like that, but we saw it on Facebook and it was right up our alley. I mean,
I like the square bodies.
Yeah, it's a square body. I mean,
like the square bodies.
You know, it's funny, as iconic as square bodies are, and all the trucks and cars that we've worked on the channel, we have never had a square body on the channel. Can you believe that?
No. Last square body I had was around 1988. It was a 73 model. That's the last one I ever owned. But I went through the days when you could pick them up for 500 bucks, 600 bucks. They've definitely went up in price. But I definitely like this one. It looked really clean. Definitely like the family history. Put it back on the road and make it a nice roadworthy truck.
So let's take a walk around the truck real quick and then we'll load it up. So what can you say? I mean, it's a square body. Generations of people have worked on these at this point. I mean, they're iconic. I mean, we love them. I've had a few, actually way before I started the channel, but I love these trucks. You just don't run across them a lot. Like they used to be the...
Oh, they was plentiful.
Yeah.
They was on every corner.
They were the poor man's work truck, but now they're turning into collector's items.
The nice thing about this one is they're real bad about rusting here. This one don't. The rockers aren't rusted out. The doors aren't rusted out. The bed's don't have any rust in it. The inside of the bed's really clean. Floors are good. It's got floors.
The fenders, the rockers, the doors. I mean, you hardly find them in this kind of shape. I mean, it's like perfect work truck condition. It's not beat up. It's not abused, it's not rusted, but you wouldn't feel bad about driving it. I think I can already see it's got like an auxiliary tank. Would this be the factory location, or
no,
is that's an auxiliary one?
No, that's the auxiliary
because
one.
There's a tank here. Yeah, that definitely doesn't look factory. But a lot of people added those, but that's the factory tank on the other side. The owner said it's a TH350. That's what's in it, automatic.
I think it's a 350, let me look.
So it's a 350 with a 350. We got dual exhaust.
Yeah, it's a 350.
Got our carrier bearing, drive shaft, dual exhaust, mufflers. Got the bed, frame, brake lines, differential, e-brake. Looks good. I mean, it really looks good. This truck is just exactly how we like to find them. I love them like this. It's absolutely perfect. Wonder if this had a CB in it.
I'd say that was a big thing back in the 70s. CBs.
You know what I bet that was? Well, no, they wanted to be a trucker. It's got a CB, and I bet this was a handle, like a grip. You know?
Oh, yeah.
There's 4 holes on the other side, too. I bet that's what that was. And they put cab lights on it.
Oh, I love the cab lights.
It's funny. I like it when you see that stuff because you know they were like, I'm a trucker. You know, they like putting trucker stuff on it. I like that. We got a tachometer. Got our steering column. Is this one? It's not tilt, is it?
No tilt.
Factory gauges, brake, temp, speedo, fuel. We got headlights. Transmission selector works. We even got keys. These look like the original keys for GM cars. Yeah, that Classic Sun, it just bakes that plastic, man. Just bakes it to where you can't see through it. Dash has got some cracks in it, but at least it's all there. I mean, it's all there. It's all complete. Missing our glove box and our glove box. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not.
Actually, the glove box is in there with the specs.
Soft gray tinted glass, cab back panel application. I'm not sure what that is. All-weather air conditioning. Yeah, there's the A6 compressor on there. I saw that. Fleet side pickup, so it's not a step side. It's fleet side. Front stabilizer, heavy-duty rear springs. So it's a half-ton with heavy-duty rear springs. That's cool. Heavy-duty power brakes, V8 350. Yeah. Variable ratio power. What was that? Variable ratio power steering?
Yeah. I think that's what they called it.
Cigarette lighter, windshield antenna. So the factory one would have probably went up here, right?
No, it's in the window. That's the antenna in the window. Right here.
Oh, that's the antenna?
That's the radio antenna.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's how they did the radio antenna.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
You didn't live it.
No, I didn't live it. Yeah.
Oh, it was big stuff back in the 70s when that come out.
I'm just renting the lifestyle. You owned it back in the day.
I lived it. Yeah. I was there.
Gold metallic. So that is the factory paint, gold metallic. I think these are very recognizable trucks to lots of people. Lots of people had dads that owned them, grandfathers that owned them. Like, they're just iconic, man. This is a piece of American history. Check it out. We got the tailgate with the Chevrolet in white, bumper with the trailer hookups in the back, receiver hitch. Look how straight it is. I'm really amazed at how straight it is, that it was a work truck.
The tailgate, I can't believe the tailgate's not got the crap beat out of it.
They always get knocked right here.
Man.
Everything gets hit right here.
This is all original.
And you can tell if a bed was overused because not only will these rails be dented, if the bed was used a lot, you'll actually see the bed like concaving over the rails that go this way, and this bed was not abused whatsoever. I mean, it's aged, stuff was put in it because the paint's gone, but dude,
it's what I call you out the bed. You look at the bed and it was just waved from being overloaded.
There's the factory gas cap. Oh look, it's got a gun rack. I didn't even see that. Love that. It's such a perfect farm work truck. This thing could be in a movie. Got the Chevy bow tie on there. It still has its original aluminum trim. It's got its, I think that was an option too, having that rear window that opened.
Yeah.
Because they had solid windows. That's an upgrade. This was cool. It had a opening window. It had air conditioning. It was pretty cool. That's for a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
A 10-gallon hat holder.
I don't know if my hat will fit in there.
There you go.
There you go.
That's neat.
There's the gas cap things. There you go.
Them freaking gas cap doors never work. I hate when people put locking gas caps.
That's the first thing that goes in the trash can. That was a big thing back in the 70s. Everybody put locking gas caps on because it went through the gas.
Oh, the gas crunch.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And people were stealing gas, and it was big. It was big to put the locking gas caps on to make everybody think, I got you. You can't get my gas. Well, then you can't get in your gas. You lose your key.
Eventually, they put like little metal crosses in the actual pipe that went down, so you couldn't shove a hose down.
Yeah, it's near to impossible to it. You can't hardly stick anything down in there to steal gas out of anything anymore, unless you just take and punch a hole in the gas tank.
Whenever I see wire nuts hanging down out of a dash, it spells trouble. Small block 350. Yep. It's not locked up. I think Dad got on the crank. It's not locked up, but the water pump is off and all the accessories, the alternator's off because, like I said, the water pump went bad. They took it apart. They were going to fix it, and they never did. And he said it last ran in like 2017, 2018, so that's 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
That it hasn't ran. So we'll see when we dig into it, you know, like just how bad things are. But at least it's not locked up. I mean, that's half the battle right there. Got the old A6 compressor. Bearing's good, but it's, it's locked. Has it got oil?
A little bit. Down a little bit.
Yeah, got some. Let's take the tray. Yeah, it's got some on there.
This was October 1975 was the first registration. My granddad bought this new a month after my birthday. All my life, this was supposed to be mine. I waited a long time to get it. At a young age, I irritated my granddad because I'd bought a truck from him and I crushed the bumper one night. And
what was you doing?
He said,
what was you doing?
I hit some sand on a paved road and I just come around the corner and straighten it out. And we'd been out goofing off all night and playing. And I bent the bumper out of it, and he was walking out to his shop and he looked down where I had it parked and he noticed the bumper. And he come down, and the only thing he said when he looked at it and shook his head and looked at me and said, you'll never get that truck, ever. Turned around and walked away. And I think I was 21, 22. And so, dream gone. Been told I was getting that truck from the time I was 6, 7 years old. When he died, the truck ended up with my sister. And when she disappeared and took off for life, my dad ended up with it, and they barely drove it, so it kind of sat around and went to junk. But I ended up with a CJ5, and my sister really liked it. And we were sitting on the porch one afternoon, and my dad turned to me and says, you know, he says, that's your little sister's pickup. He says, I really can't say what happens to it now. And it had been sitting in his yard long enough, I think, that he didn't care. He was just ready to get rid of it. And so I immediately texted my sister and said, I'll trade you a CJ5 for it. And I'll even put the CJ5 on a trailer and drag it up to you to Kanab. That's what I did. And of course, I immediately went out and drug this off my dad's yard, so he couldn't change his mind. And it's been sitting here, and I thought for a long time I wanted to do something with it and, you know, get it back in order. And I think I got to a point where I got enough going on that I just don't need it and don't want it. Needs to go somewhere because it's still in good enough shape to keep going. So.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still a clean truck.
Absolutely.
It's gonna go on to better. It's gonna go on to better stuff, man. It's gonna be seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Ow! Let me have my hand back.
Hit the brake. Got the truck in the shop here. Dad switched around the tires to get all the matching correct rims on it. He put the tires that came with the truck on it, shined them up a little bit with some my tire juice. And what we're doing now before we try and start it, engine's pretty dirty. He's got some purple power on it. We're gonna push it out and pressure wash it real quick and clean it off.
Lube them stupid hood hinges up.
Dad lubed up the hinges because they're really bad. It already starting to form a crease on this side. Right here.
Sink in a little bit.
Somebody already tried to fix it.
I mean, it only takes 2 seconds to lube them doggone things up. I mean, it'll eventually get to the point where when you touch it, it'll just come up by itself, you know? Oh, yeah, see?
It's getting better now.
Yeah, it just takes a minute to start sinking in. see. Might need that other can. Spray it on that hot dang pump. Yeah, that stuff works. It makes you choke. I wish all that would come off of that chrome valve cover. It's already looking better.
Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, wow, that oven clean works really good.
Right after that, we'll put some more purple power on.
Bam.
Boom! Ooh. The keys on. There's the positive, there's the negatives, and that's hooked up. Hey! Gauge is coming up.
What gauge?
Voltage come up. Look like the other gauges give me a little movement.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hey!
All right.
Yeah, the light on the dash is working for the brake. When you crank them on a GM, the brake light comes on.
Oh, okay.
And then that's basically, quote unquote, to check to make sure your brake light's working. Let's see. See if the heater works. Nope. Nope. Windshield wipers. Hey. That's good. Right? Horn works. That's a good thing.
What about
signals? Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
No. Headlights. I know they ain't gonna work.
The one of your taillights is on. Other one's out. Hold on, let me look at the front. Yeah, you got one headlight on. No, the other one's on. It's just kind of dim.
Here, let's see if the brights work.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be darned.
Try it again. 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 Yeah, they work. Crank sounds good.
Don't sound bad.
It'll probably run.
I bet it runs. It's a
Yeah.
runner. Might need a little bit of oil.
Yeah, it's low on oil.
I know it's low. You got any old junk oil? Because I'll change it.
Yeah.
Like
I got some junk oil in
just
stock.
something you don't want, and I'll change it.
Yeah. Well, hook the vacuum pants up. Maybe it'll work. We got a little bit of 40-to-1 mix put down in the vent tube. Goes down into the bowls.
Let it sit there for a second. Maybe it'll soften up that accelerator pump.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Well, it's got power to the coil and everything. Oh, look at that.
What's that racket?
Hold on.
Oh, does it need tranny fluid?
I don't know. All right, try it again. Heck yeah.
Got good oil pressure.
Cool. What was that?
It's got good oil pressure. Maybe if you want me to, let's check the tranny fluid. Pour a little bit in there, and I'll try to throw it in gear. It ain't going nowhere, but it might be out of tranny fluid.
Yeah, it could be low.
It's been setting for, well, I'd say since, 14 years. Windows says 11. Oh, yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
All right, I got some tranny fluid.
Well, I can use mine. I don't want to use yours up. Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's $6 a quart.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive out here trying to do these videos. $6 for tranny fluid? Golly, man. We're gonna have to quit making videos altogether.
Now I know I'm showing my age. It used to be 89 cents a quart.
I wish.
I mean, you could get a case of Dextron for $12.
That's 12 quarts, isn't it?
That was 12 quarts.
It's $1 a quart.
$1 a quart. That's what it cost.
Sheesh.
And that was delivered from the parts house.
You use their gas to get it to you.
Yeah, you used their gas to bring it to us. It was $1 a quart. I remember the guy I was working for had to do something to a transmission. I think I rebuilt the transmission. I put it in there. And something I did where I had to pull it off and I lost a whole bunch of tranny fluid. Oh, he was balking. He was mad because I didn't reuse that tranny fluid. And even back then, I said, dude, it's only $1 a quart. I said, it's no big deal. Oh, when I went over there and dumped it in the oil container, oh my God, you thought you'd killed him. I'll put a little bit more on there and after a while. Okay.
There you go.
Nothing but the best.
A little low on tranny fluid, so we're putting some in there. Hopefully it goes into gear.
Yeah, we need to figure out. Need to go ahead and hook a line up to the line and suck the fuel out of it, and then figure out which tank it's on. It's got 2 tanks. They unhooked one of the tanks. That's what the guy told me.
Got our can up in here. I got the hose routed down to the fuel pump, and I put some fuel down the carb too, so we're going to run it and see if it pulls through the fuel filter. Then we'll know the pump's working. Go ahead and try it.
Ready?
Yeah. Huh.
Nada.
No.
That ain't good.
I'm gonna pour some Marvel down this hose, and maybe we can wet that diaphragm, because sometimes they get real dry and they lose their prime, and then they don't want to give the vacuum. So we'll pour a bunch of this down it. Yeah. Blew it back in my face. Do it again. Yeah, you need a fuel pump.
Dang it.
All right, we got a new fuel pump on it. We got it plumbed into the tank. We're gonna see if it'll start now. There we go. It's trying, yeah. It's not getting into the...
Tap on it.
Yeah, we got to take the carburetor off, because so either that fuel filter up on the carb is plugged or the floats are stuck, because no matter how much gas we put in it and run it, it'll run, but as soon as it runs out of gas, it quits. So something ain't, it's not letting fuel in the carb. So we got to figure out why it's doing that. Fuel pump's working now, but carb is not.
The carburetor. The demonstrator.
While Dad's been taking the carburetor apart, I put an electric fuel pump on the line that comes from the tank out, hooked it up to drain the old gas out, and not a lot came out, like just shreds of evidence. I mean, not even really gas came out. So we don't know which tank they have plumbed in, so I'm going to blow air backwards through it, and whatever tank has got air coming out, that's the one we know is hooked up. You ready?
Yeah. This is the tank it's pulling from.
The auxiliary?
Well, them are frozen. This carburetor's not.
That doesn't look real good.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Carburetor got some poop in it.
Yeah, it's pretty crummy in there, actually.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a filter at the front of the carb, and this thing is, it's plugged. Now it's not. This was, oh wow. Yeah. This was the filter that was in it. We could hardly blow through it at all. So we're not going to put a filter back in it, because we're going to have a fuel filter pre-fuel pump anyways. So this is useless to us. We just want this passage free. Got the carburetor all taken apart. It's pretty nasty in there. So we're taking this can of Pep-All, cutting the top off, pour it full of Chem Dip, and we're going to soak. Then we're going to soak the carburetor overnight in it.
Ta-da!
Squeeze it out like that.
Went a little quick, but it went in there.
Yeah. So it's the next day now. The carburetor has been soaking overnight in the carb dip. We're taking it out, brake cleaning all the holes, blowing everything out, making sure all the passages are free. That carb dip did a decent job. It's clean. It was a lot worse yesterday, but
That stuff just won't come out of there. It's just, it got set with water in it, I guess, or mouse piss.
yeah.
Somehow mouse piss got in there.
And if I do this, we're getting gas. So the line is not plugged. Like if there was bad gas in the lines, I wanted to pump it out. So we're getting clean gas. Tighten down these hose clamps and we'll have fuel from the tank running through a filter, pre-pump, so clean fuel to everything that needs it. Carburetor is freshly rebuilt, putting in the final bolts to hook it to the intake.
Hopefully be starting it here in a minute.
Once this is on, we should be able to start it and drive it around the yard. The brakes work, which reminds me I actually should check this brake fluid. We never have, but it does have brakes. I'll put some more in it. Yeah, this is about out anyway. We'll just finish this off. There's my contribution. These lids are actually pretty cool. A lot of people probably know what they're looking at, but some people don't. And if I wasn't told, I wouldn't know. But this is actually kind of like a check engine light for your brakes. It's a really ingenious, simple, non-electronic, non-powered way to almost test if your brakes are leaking. If your brakes are all good and nothing's leaking, these will stay put, right? They're actually supposed to be level with the lid. And you can push them back in and reset them like this. Let me reset this.
Yeah, reset it.
So now you can see that this is pushed back level. And if nothing is wrong with your brakes, the level, it goes down and up, down and up. When you press it, it should never change. But if you have a leak somewhere, the fluid goes down. As the fluid goes down because of a leak, it'll create a vacuum and pull this rubber up. So when you take this off and this is down, you have a leak somewhere. It's pretty smart, actually. It's like very reliable system.
And according to how far down it is, that's the intensity level you need to be at.
Yeah. There's still fluid in it. If it was any kind of serious leak, I'd say there would be nothing in one of the reservoirs.
Yeah, but after 15 years,
yeah,
it's got a right to be gone.
Random leaks happen when things set that sometimes disappear when you start to use it again. Like every one of these cars we pick up, they don't have any coolant in them. Like you check the radiator and there's never coolant in them, but when you start them and you put water in them, sometimes they don't leak.
Yeah.
Where does the water go? I don't know where the water goes. It's getting windy.
Got a storm coming in out of California.
It's testing the quality of the job I did putting that pole in the ground. Sometimes the wind whips up so bad here, that sign will come up and almost touch that light. I'm telling you, it's the truth. There it goes. Yeah, it's pulling. Yeah, I can hear the accelerator pump. Yeah, oh yeah. Go. There we go.
Why is my accelerator pump not working?
Can't run it for too long. We don't have no water in it, but
Look at that. Why is that? That ain't good. Look at it flooding.
yeah.
Is it low?
Yeah, it's really low on tranny fluid. Right now we're trying to get the front of the engine back together, trying to get this water pump prepped to put on, but the studs are too long. Now I'm putting water in it. About good. Putting a little bit in the power steering pump because it's empty.
Be kind of interesting to see if that alternator charges. They're pretty durable.
Yeah. Put this on for now. Just set it on there.
Yeah. Something tells me that carburetor is going to be a problem child.
Yeah, that hose is cracked.
Yeah, it's busted.
Well, at least, you know, that's not a big deal.
Is it pouring out or dripping?
Well, it's dripping out. I can already see it on the ground. The truck's only been running 3 seconds. All right, we put a new return line on the power steering. It was leaking so bad, couldn't even run it and drive it like that. So hopefully it stops leaking. We should be good to start it and drive it. I don't think it's dripping now.
Maybe the pressure hose will start leaking.
Yeah, it'll leak somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now it's moving under its own power.
We're good?
All right. Let it run and get good and warm. Hopefully knock any sludge in the engine loose, bring it down to the bottom as good as that can help, and change the oil. It's just oil, so it's no gas, water, anything stupid. Let's see if we can get this oil filter off without giving myself third-degree burns. God, already did it. Alright, new filter is hand tight. We'll wipe it off so we can see if there's any leaks. Wipe off some of this oil on the ground. This little crank. Alright, wipe this off. Should be able to fill her up. There's not really a whole lot I can do about the seats. Driver's seat's tore up. But we can clean some of this out and vacuum it. Oil filter box, battery terminal, oil filter, belt, screwdriver, quart of tranny fluid, which I will be keeping. Got a what looks to be a new tie rod end. Put that in the bed. Couple of not tow mirrors, but just regular side mirrors. A peeper mirror. This is like those bubble mirrors you can use to see really close to you in your blind spot. Gaskets for the exhaust, looks like. Save those. This is a piece of trim for the turn signal parking light. Need to get these floor mats out of here. What in the world? So what we're going to attempt to do now is do a little bit of a paint correction. I got water in a spray bottle and I have my polisher here with 1500 grit sandpaper on it, and we're gonna wet sand a portion of it and hit it with some, man, this thing's dripping. And then hit it with a polishing pad and see if the paint comes back any. You know, this is all, what these were all painted with was single stage paint. If the clear coat starts flaking on a vehicle, you can't bring that back, you have to repaint it. But even very, very, very faded, old single stage paint, you can bring it back around. I've done it before on the channel. Specifically, there was a 70s Dodge that I had maybe a year ago now, and it was all chalky from sitting out in the sun, and you wouldn't believe what that truck looked brand new after I got it done. It was old single stage paint. The standard nowadays is base clear, but I don't really know why. Me and Dad have used base clear to paint all of our cars, actually my GMC, my Cadillac, and we're not really impressed with base clear. I mean, I don't really see the benefit of it. People will swear by it, but I don't really think there's a benefit to base clear over a good single stage paint. Single stage paint is better because it's a lot easier to work with. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into it, but long story short, I think single stage paint is better. We painted this truck probably 13 years ago, and it looks good, no doubt, but like this, the clear coat is coming off right here and right here, because I had to store this in some kind of bad conditions for a few years, and all this clear coat is gone. So you can see the clear, and then this is the base coat. So when you paint it on, it's dull like this, and then you spray clear coat over it, and there's nothing I can do about this. I can't polish it, I can't buff it, I can't do anything with it. You have to re-clear the whole fender at this point. But paint like this, I mean, think about it. People say single stage paint is inferior, blah, blah, blah. This paint is almost 50 years old, and it's all still on there. On the hood, on the roof, on the fenders, on the door. It's all still on there. I'm just using hose water. You know, I think people hear that word, oh, wet sanded and buffed, and then there's no mystique about it. It's just water and 1500 grit. It's important that the grit sandpaper you use, because the closer the number is to 0, the rougher the sandpaper is. The closer the number is to infinity, the finer it is. 400 grit is like for sanding primer. That's pretty rough grit. 80 grit is for taking paint clean off a car. This is 1500 grit, so it's almost like paper. You know, it's very, very thin. And I got the polisher on setting number 1. I mean, this thing goes up to like 6. Yeah, I just have it on the lowest setting. I can actually already see some of the paint coming off. Actually, yeah. So maybe you can see it from there, but see how the color is that? It's like a brown, but it's the paint coming off of the vehicle. We're actually sanding a fine layer of paint off. Now you can see yourself in it.
Huh?
Now you can see yourself in it. Some of this black is
Cutting compound.
the cutting compound, but you can see the difference. You know, what the sun does makes it chalky and dull. Can't see anything in it. And this one you can see your reflection already. Now some of this is thin. Like some of that is, if you look at it from the right angle, paint's kind of thin, so it's nice and smooth now. So what we can do is I can hit this hood with 1500. We can hit it with the buffer, and this thing will look great.
I think they was using acrylic enamel in '76.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 50-year-old paint, and I guarantee you one thing, it's been out in the sun its whole life. It's not been in a building.
I think all our gauges are working, which is pretty impressive. We got amp meter, it's charging. We got, what is that, 20 pounds of oil pressure. We got, does it go up if we, yeah, it's got good oil pressure. Temp gauge is coming up. Dad said he didn't see the speedo reading, and the fuel gauge is working. When you bounce around, it'll bounce around, so. That's second. Was that third?
Yeah, I think that's third.
Well, this is a '76 Chevy with a great story. It's a cool truck. It's an original truck. You guys know we're really into that. We're really into originality. It's so complete, nice, it's straight. It was used, but it wasn't abused. And I think we've done it justice by doing the little things that it needs to get it back on the road, to get it roadworthy, to get it reliable, to get it drivable. So it runs, it drives, it stops. We did order 2 new tires for the front, which we'll put on when they get here. UPS tried to deliver them yesterday, and they wouldn't because we weren't here or something, but we would have had them yesterday. We would have put them on.
Allegedly, they said we wasn't here, but we was here.
It shined up great, you know, sanding it with 1500 grit and hitting it with a buffer. I mean, it really took it to another level. It looks great. It looks like it's should be on the roads now. It doesn't look like it's abandoned and been sitting anymore. Cleaned up the wheels, cleaned up the interior as best we could. Could kind of use a seat, but I mean, everything else, the factory, what is that? That factory plastic carpet is actually in really good shape. The floors aren't rusted out, doors aren't rusted out, rockers aren't rusted out. If it had a seat, it'd be really friggin' nice in there, actually. But with Dad painting up the mirrors on the side and everything else we did to the paint, it looks great. I mean, I'm really happy with the way it came out. Grill is straight, the Scottsdale 10 on the side. It's just a great looking truck. Cab lights on the top, the Chevy bow tie on the back of the cab. I mean, what can you say about a square body Chevy? They're friggin' iconic. I mean, and it's way overdue that we had one on the channel. We don't have it up for sale. So if there's anything else that you guys want to see done to the truck, you got to drop it down in the comments below. You got to give me some feedback. Something else I should mention, I get comments all the time asking, where's my merch link and where's the t-shirts? And we have 180,000 subscribers. We just passed that number, so thank you. But we've gone this far and I don't even have a channel logo. I don't have shirts. I don't have anything. You know, it's just the revenue we make is just what the videos bring in from doing this, honestly. So I've spent months and months and months trying to get really good original artwork done to offer shirts to you guys. I want to make shirts that I would wear. So I'm trying to come up with designs. They're actually already done, but I wear these wicking shirts. Dad wears button-up shirts, but they're a little more expensive. They're good quality, but they're expensive. But I wear these like thin wicking shirts because it's hot out here and I protect myself from the sun. I always wear long sleeve, thin wicking shirts. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting these designs on these thin wicking shirts because that's what I wear for work and that's what I would be wearing on the channel as I'm working. Let me know your guys' opinion on that. Do you guys think the designs would be better on a wicking shirt like this or a button-up shirt like what Dad's wearing?
I already know what they're going to say.
What? The button-ups? You think? I don't know. The first design is actually the channel logo, TB, the Travis B. Our last name is Blades, so that's pretty cool. There's also another TB form of the logo that would go on the back of the shirt. So the TB with no writing goes on the front like a small logo. The TB with the pinstriping would go on the back, so that would be one design. The second design is the 46 International that we did a couple of years back that was just wildly popular on the channel. I figured if I'm going to make t-shirt designs, they should be something that was popular on the channel, and that 46 International we still have, and it put us on the map, so to speak. That video, or that series I should say, on that International took us from like 10,000 to almost 50,000 subscribers. People still know about that truck. We've taken it to the duct tape drags, so it's kind of an icon of the channel. So I put that as one, and you can see that.
And it still runs.
And it still runs, it still drives, it's a really cool truck. And then the third design, which arguably is my favorite, okay, I had to hit all points. Logo, 46 International, old school American, and you guys know that I love diesels. We love diesels, we love Cummins. So I have a Cummins design. I'll put that up right here. That phrase was actually in their advertising like 80 years ago. And so you have the 5.9 Cummins engine that's so iconic that we love, held up by my 1920s Canton portable crane and blowing smoke and everything. It really blew me away when the girl sent me this, who's designing my stuff. She sent me that and I was just like, you hit the nail on the head, man. That is just, I can't wait to wear it. It's so cool. So let me know which design is your guys' favorite, which one you would wear. So this is what I wear all the time. It's not even cotton. I don't even know what they make it out of. You can't even wrinkle it. It doesn't wrinkle or anything. It's really light and good for work. It's not heavy or hot, and it's wicking, so it's dissipate sweat and all that. But this is what I wear every day for work because it's hot all the time.
And this is what I wear every day for work.
Yeah, so Dad wears the long sleeve button-ups, but they are more expensive. You know, people really want the cost of t-shirts and stuff to be low, and I understand that. So just so you know, if I did shirts like that, they were going to be more expensive than this. Just keep that in mind. It's going to be like a dark blue or probably a black shirt. I always wear black. Everything I wear is always dark or black. I think that's everything.
Thank you guys. I
yeah,
appreciate
thank you
it.
guys.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys shortly in the next video.